Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you here today with an article from Red State. And I'm recording this on Sunday the 14th. This is from yesterday the 13th. And I just thought that this should be something that gets out there because it's kind of an I told you so sort of thing. So I did a video probably last week or the week before, I want to say, that was about the Gaza death numbers that are being reported by the Hamas or the Gaza Health Ministry, which is just controlled by Hamas, so you can't really trust what they're saying. And oh look, the article's headline here says you might want to check out what Hamas just admitted about those Gaza death numbers. Now, before we get into it, what do you think they admitted? Do you think they were saying, yeah, there were actually more people killed, or do you think they were going, oh wait, we may have severely overestimated this? So I think it's time to just dive in and see what the Hamas or Gaza Health Ministry just said. So what did they admit? Hi there, Mr. Terrorist Guy. It says the media seems to regularly just accept data put out by the Gaza Health Ministry when it comes to things like death counts in the conflict with Israel. But it's under the thumb of Hamas, so how reliable can such assessments be? And the answer is it's not at all. It says, now there's new information that shows Hamas admitting that the data hasn't been accurate, that indeed it was inflated, as our sister site Town Hall reported, quoting the Foundation for the Defense of Democracy. So from that particular article, it says the Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry, or the Hamas-run Gaza Ministry of Health, said on April 6th that it had incomplete data for 11,371 of the 33,091 Palestinian fatalities it claims to have documented. In a statistical report, the ministry notes that it considers an individual record to be incomplete if it is missing any of the following key data points: identity number, full name, date of birth, or date of death. The Health Ministry also released a report on April 3rd that acknowledged the presence of incomplete data but did not define what it meant by incomplete. In that earlier report, the ministry acknowledged the incompleteness of 12,263 records. It is unclear why, after just 3 more days, the number fell to 11,371, a decrease of more than 900 records. Prior to its admissions of incomplete data, the Health Ministry asserted that the information in more than 15,000 fatality records had stemmed from reliable media sources. However, the ministry never identified the sources in question, and Gaza has no independent media. So here's an embedded tweet, and I'm not going to go into that other than just kind of to show you. You can certainly link the article or see the article in the link below. Click on that to go ahead and check it out, but it is from that foundation of, what are they called here? Foundation for the Defense of Democracies right there. But let's just keep going. It says, incomplete data on a third of the people claimed dead, so they can't even be sure that's true, and they're getting it from non-independent media. FDD, that was that organization mentioned just a minute ago, pointed to one example of the bombing at the Al Ahli Arab Hospital that immediately, right after the bombing, there was the claim by the ministry that 500 people had been killed. But when the evidence came out, it showed that the bomb hit a parking lot, and that number didn't make a lot of sense. A U.S. intel assessment placed it much lower, more in the neighborhood of 100. FDD also makes another important point that's often left out. There's a lot of errant fire from Hamas that falls in Gaza. How much is that impacting numbers as well as deaths? The health ministry isn't talking, right? Because, as I've mentioned before, Hamas counts their soldiers as civilians. So when you see a number such as 20,000, 30,000, that includes soldiers. It's not just civilians. They just call everybody civilians. And again, you've probably seen a million times that a lot of their rockets land in their own territory, such as, the hospital that was just mentioned up here. And they end up killing a lot of their own people, which they are 100% okay with. So no wonder the health ministry isn't talking. And it says, Joe Truzman, senior research analyst at FTD's Long War Journal, also noted the other thing left out here is how many Hamas terrorists are also being taken out here. This is what I just mentioned. He said potentially 10,000. That is also not fully addressed by the health ministry. Translation, just what exactly what are these numbers worth? Not a lot. So why doesn't the liberal media seem to care about this? Why do they and Joe Biden just parrot the Hamas propaganda? It doesn't exactly say you have ironclad support for Israel, Joe, or for the truth. Yeah. And of course, being that I'm recording this on the morning of Sunday, the 14th of April, Iran just kind of lobbed a few missiles and drones over to Israel, which I think it said 99% of them were stopped. And I think there's only at least one death that I've seen so far from that. It was a child, unfortunately. Be unfortunate whoever it was, but it was a child in this case. Whereas Joe Biden came out and says Israel has their ironclad support, but never mind the fact that he was, him and Chuck Schumer were trying to do like a Kohler revolution in Israel a few weeks ago, calling for the overthrow of Benjamin Netanyahu. But now Joe's like, oh no, they have our support. And I guarantee you what you're going to see now is Biden saying, oh no, Israel, you shouldn't retaliate against Iran. Yeah, we'll see how far that goes. But Israel, don't listen to him. Do what you need to do to protect your people. So of course, it's a short article, but you can see that the Gaza Ministry of Health here revised their numbers down by a third. That's significant, but are you going to see this on the news anywhere like it said? Nope. Probably not, because it goes against their narrative, so they can't show it. So let me know what you think about this in the comments below, everybody. I mean, did you already suspect the Gaza Ministry of Health numbers were kind of inflated? What do you think about that? What do you think about the numbers now going way down? Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.